Many pastors these days have reached a breaking point with the beliefs they once held dear. They've given up lying to their congregation and finally turning towards Islam. Allahu Akbar. For over a decade, Robert Moreland preached Christianity to his congregation in New York. He didn't just find himself in that position by chance. Rather, he diligently built his own congregation from scratch with 8 branches in and outside New York.
Since I've taken Shahada, I have led over 12 other pastors into Islam. So we're going to see more testimonies coming.
Things were going well, the congregation was growing, and money was coming in until one day he finally submitted to his internal battles with the lies and discrepancies he was forced to believe and teach. The people he took as religious leaders couldn't provide a coherent answer to some of his existential questions. Then the day came when he shut everything down and left Christianity for good.
And for some reason, I just felt this is not it. And I started questioning things regarding the Trinity and different religion, and it just wasn't making any sense to me. I couldn't understand a person who went to theology school, matriculated in the highest of Christianity, being a bishop, a so-called a prophet, an apostle, just couldn't have answers, and closed the church down. Folded.
All 8 locations?
All 8 locations. Folded.
Wow.
Folded.
Unfortunately, his journey and quest for truth put him in further confusion, but in the end, he found Islam, along with 12 other pastors who were his colleagues while he was in the church. Yes, 12 pastors are now Muslims because one of them found the truth and decided to bring the light he had found. But Robert's story isn't that straightforward. After he left the church, he delved into voodoo, idol, and jinn worshipping. In his quest for the truth, he moved farther from it. Robert became so immersed in voodoo practice that he became a priest in it. He would consult or intercede for people and make some money in the process. His spiritual business was booming, and life was good. To him, he had found his truth, and it came with some money too. Who says you can't have it all? Well, until it all disappeared, like a smoke screen that it all was.
And in fact, I worked with jinn.
So you were working with the jinn?
Correct.
Now, did you know at the time you were working at the jinn? What, you didn't call them jinn? What were you calling?
Yeah,
What did you identify the jinn and at that time?
Oh, jinns. Okay. Again, there's two different practices I did. Palo Mayombe, we would call it the Egungun, or the dead spirits. And so I knew I was working with a diabolical spirit. And so if you want to get your bidding done, give the spirit what it wants and it will do what it wants for you. But of course, there's nothing for free. And so you trade off a little bit, maybe a couple of years of your life. You trade off a couple of different things to get these things to happen.
First, he lost his adopted daughter to cancer after his voodoo had promised she would be healed if she became a priestess. That was eye-opening, but it wasn't enough. Then he felt seriously sick. The powerful voodoo priest who was healing other people could not heal himself. How ironic. While his health deteriorated in the ICU, he tried all his tricks and performed multiple sacrifices to no avail. His health condition, sepsis, was projected to become fatal in 2 weeks. He basically had just 2 weeks to live. Then on scrolling through TikTok, he came across a video where a Muslim TikToker talked about tahajjud.
I remember watching 2 TikTokers, Maliki Click and Amina Roche. And Amina Roche talked about something called tahajjud. I called it tajahun. I didn't know how to pronounce it. So tahajjud.
Tahajjud, yes. The night prayer. That's the night prayer.
That's night
Yes.
prayer.
Seeing that everything else had failed, he decided to give it a try. And after 3 days of consistent tahajjud, he gradually regained his health. Soon, he was discharged from the hospital. On his way home, he joined a TikTok live chat from popular Muslim TikToker Maliki Click and took his shahada.
Get your phone, go to TikTok. Maliki Click was on TikTok. And I've never in any TikTok history have ever requested to go on someone's live. I said, can you give me shahada? And he gave me shahada. That was on June 26, 2023.
So that was just recently.
That was recently, yes.
Yeah.
Since then, he has taken time to study Islam, got the required knowledge, and when he was convinced he has found the one true path, he started convincing his friends and former colleagues to join him in the light. Today, 12 former Christian pastors are now Muslims through brother Robert, now called Rob.